So, Hare Krishna, everyone. I hope you are having an amazing Damodar Mass, an amazing Kartik Mass throughout the days so far. So, I just hope and I just pray that the remaining days of Kartik Mass also are good and full of devotion for all of us. So let's just start with the saying that why I chose the topic today that I mentioned on the group that today's topic will be Sakhya Rasa with Krishna, wherein I will be focusing on why Sakhya Ras is so important and what is the meaning of having a relationship with Krishna in Sakyaras. And I will also try to, include my personal experience. And I deliberately chose this topic today because day before yesterday I was sitting in front of my deities and I was just contemplating on a few things, and I just went down the memory lane, and I was just thinking that. How mine and Krishna's relationship has evolved in the last 16 years, like right from the beginning to the point where we are today. Like today, I cannot imagine my life without Krishna. And when Krishna came in my life, I had no idea that Krishna would become so dear to me. Krishna would become a major person in my life, and Krishna would hold the most part of my heart. I would not say, definitely, I would not say that, Krishna occupies the whole of my heart, because I'm not a 100% surrendered devotee, but I'm still trying to be a devotee in the first place. So I will just start by sharing my personal experience. A few of my personal experiences, rather, I would say, not just one single experience. And then I will come to the point where I will be speaking on how you can love Krishna in more than one ways. It's not just, if you established a relationship with Krishna in one particular rasa at the starting of your devotion. You have to continue through with that single rasa, and you cannot feel like another rasa for Krishna. You definitely can. Anyone can feel, like if someone has started bhakti in dasya rasa, but now, for example, the person is feeling more of vatsalya or say sakhya or more of madhurya rasa. So you can definitely develop more relishable feelings, more stronger and deepened feelings for Krishna in more than one rasa, and still you can continue in the primary rasa that you established your relationship with Krishna in the start of your devotional life. So I don't know, other than Vidut Prabhu, if if someone was if someone else on this call or from this group was uh, was present on the first session when we started the Prabhupada Lilamrit. So I gave a small introduction about myself, my name, and a small introduction about my devotional life. All the recordings are still there on my YouTube channel, and you can go and access them anytime. So, but today I would just like to focus on my devotional life. So my devotional life begins with the age of 10, uh, and suddenly one day, I was 10 years old, and I come from a Hindu Punjabi family. a very a very supportive and a very supportive family and extremely loving parents. And those who have attended the first session of Prabhupada Leelamrit know that I have a physical limitation. I have a physical disability condition wherein I cannot walk without support. Like I can walk, but I have to use a walker for walking. So that's my physical condition. And it so happened that one day, I lived in a huge society in Mumbai, and it so happened that one day, uh, one family from our society made an announcement that they are going to have kids program at their home uh, every Friday. So every Friday evening from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So so they didn't tell us openly that it's going to be a devotional program. So I was very excited because I was born and brought up in that society, so everyone knew each other, and so I also knew, and so that house was very close to my house. So I also told my mother that I will also go. So my mother was like, I don't know who's going to come and who's going to not come. And when I went there, we started, and there was one Mataji who made it a point that we start the program every time by chanting one round of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And to cut the long story short, that program went on for 1.5 years, and every Friday I used to look forward to going there. And she used to make us watch Krishna movies and make us read the Krishna comics and things like that. And I loved the prasadam. I loved the prasadam there. But somehow, the daughter-in-law used to conduct the program for the children, but the mother-in-law used to take care of the prasadam. So the whole family was Krishna conscious. So uh, when I used to have my prasadam, I used to have it in a special plate. Usually, paper plates they used to give us, and they used to give us sufficient quantity of prasadam. But I used to get double servings of each and everything, and I used to really like the ISKCON bullets. So which is gulab jamun. So I really used to look forward to going to uh, those classes, and I used to really look forward to prasadam. So it so happened that after 1.5 year, the daughter-in-law of that family decided that they are going to shift to America, and I was so disheartened that I will not be able to attend the program anymore because it's not going to be conducted anymore. So she took us to the Mumbai ISKCON temple also, and we had a great time one day. So that's my beginning point of my journey, and I got very much fascinated with Krishna uh, because of my cousin who used to worship Laddu Gopal and things like that. So I also told my mother one day that I want to have one picture of Krishna because my mother told me that you are too young to have Laddu Gopal. बहुत सेवा करनी पड़ती है, and you are too young to have. You are like hardly say 11 or 12 years old. So so I told my mother that I have heard about Krishna like in that weekly program for 1.5 year, and I've also seen my cousin sister worship Krishna. So I am very much fascinated. I also want to talk to Krishna. I also want to feed him, dress him up, and do things like that. So every time I told her that every time after coming from school, I will give my time to Krishna, and I will take care. I will learn from you everything. How to dress Krishna up, how to feed him. You teach me everything, and then I'll do. So she said, no, 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 no. I will not. You're too young to handle Laddu Gopal. So I told my mother, then you get me a photo because I want someone to talk to. like my sister talks to Krishna. So, so I told my mother that, and my mother didn't get that, the photo either, but she gave me Bhagavad Gita. And I started reading Bhagavad Gita like at the age of 12. And I couldn't obviously understand anything because that was too high at the age of 12. So uh, then one day, on the day of Janmashtami, when I was 13 years old, I think 2 years, since 2 years, this whole background was going on of me unintentionally, unknowingly connecting to Krishna. So when I was 13, so on the day of Janmashtami, my mother went out and I was like, get me something to eat. So, I really love chocolates. So I said, Mom, today's Janmashtami, so could you get a chocolate cake for me to eat? Because I really love chocolate and today it's a festival, right? So I want a chocolate cake. So she said, okay, I'll get it. So when she came back, she was holding something in her fist. So I said, where is my chocolate cake? You didn't get it or what? So she said, no, no, I couldn't get the chocolate cake, but I could see that she has clenched her fist so tightly. So I said, Mom, have you gotten some chocolates for me? In a fist, what is it? Let me open and see. So when I opened her fist, I could see one small, very small Laddu Gopal, and then she and I got so excited, and I was like jumping with joy. I mean, Mom, you denied it at first. I asked you for a photo, you didn't get that either, and you gave me Bhagavad Gita instead, of which I could understand nothing. So but I got excited, and then she told me, open the another pouch. There is some jewelry, and there's some clothes for Krishna. And that was the day when I asked her everything, and I by myself with my own hands, I dressed Krishna up. I did the pran pratishtha. I asked her everything. She was like guiding me step by step, and that's how Krishna came in my life. That was the day. And then, after 2 3 months, every day I used to come from school, like 7 to 7:30 p.m. was my time of offering lamp every day to Krishna. So after like 1 or 2 months, I got so fed up with Krishna. I said, Krishna, you and I have been together for 2 months, and I bought you in my life so that you could hear me out. You could hear my prayers and my desires, because I saw so many people, and I've heard about you, that you reciprocate with people and you fulfill their desires. So you're not fulfilling my desire. So at that time, my biggest desire get out of my was to was to be able to move out of my uh, physical condition. I wanted to walk without using a walker. So but that is not possible, because this condition that I have is by birth. So that's a medical condition that cannot be like that cannot be you cannot cure it. The only thing is that you can have some physiotherapy or things like that. So I got so fed up with Krishna. I said, since 3 months I'm worshipping you, and you are not hearing me. You are not hearing my prayers, and I'm saying that I want to walk like other people do. I don't want to use I don't want to use the crutches or the walker. So what I did, I took a full bowl of water, and I placed my Laddu Gopal in the ball of water, in the bowl of water that I had. It was filled up to the brim, and I was thinking that I told Krishna very angrily that Krishna, now you sit in this water for like 3 or 6 months, or say something like that. And uh, and I told, I will not get you out of the water until I get until you do some miracle, and until I stop using the walker and start walking on my own. So, so then I placed Krishna, and I placed that, that katori in my altar, and I said, now you will sit. I will not feed you, I will not serve you, I will not do anything. And I removed his clothes also, Krishna's clothes also, and I placed him in the cold water. So then, like after 3 hours, I was thinking, "Nay, mummy, I should remove him. That's too much." मेरे को थोड़ा गुस्सा था, थोड़ा मैं नाराज थी. So my mother's like, "इतनी जल्दी गुस्सा ठंडा हो गया तेरा?" So I'm like, "No, I'm still upset, but I can't see him like that." So every day I used to tell. So अभी my mother used to tell me, बोला है ना उसके सामने कि 3 महीने रखूंगी तो 3 महीने रख. So every day I used to come from school and tell my mother that I should remove him. So no. My mother told me no. So let's see what he does. So but after 3 months I was like, "Mommy, अभी 3 महीना हो गया, अभी नहीं, मेरे से नहीं होता. Look now how the water has become dirty, and how Krishna has not eaten anything, not dressed up properly." So when I removed him, the body of my Laddu Gopal turned completely like dark brown. So because and my Laddu Gopal, after like say 14 years, also today also 14-15 years, I have served him so much, but he's still, but the color, but the color still remains the same, because that brass thing that uh, became covered with dust and everything. And उसके बाद इतना सब कुछ किया, but that color did not change. So I have so many instances. Now the whole point that I spoke this story was this thing that happened between me and Krishna was that today when I look back at this incident that happened, I realized that how foolish I was, and I realized that how foolish, at the same time innocent I was. So my whole point in saying that was, at the start of our devotion, we all bring up Krishna in our life, just to be able to fulfill our desires. We have no plans to become devotees, or to become. I did not know what ISKCON was. I did not know that ISKCON existed. So मुझे कुछ नहीं पता था. And but still, I mean, this all these kind of things that happened between me and Krishna made Krishna not just God for me, but other than God, I started looking Krishna as my brother. I started looking Krishna as a friend. So then, with every passing year, with each passing day, mine and Krishna's relationship grew stronger. And then, when I came to know about ISKCON, it's a long story how I got connected and how I met my Siksha Guru. That's not the point of discussion today. But the point of discussion today is, when we welcome Krishna in our homes, are we really welcoming Krishna in our hearts or no? So, बहुत लोग ऐसे होते हैं जो कृष्णा को लेके आते हैं. Like I at the beginning of the story that I told you, my intent on bringing Krishna in my life was to be able to fulfill my desires, and was to be able to remove the condition that I have in my life. My physical condition was to be my motive was to get cured. So so but uh today, like, we see, like, so many people get so much influenced by social media influencers, and they bring Krishna, and they are not able to serve Krishna, and then things happen, life happens, and uh, then someone, like some people stop serving Krishna, or some people stop devotion altogether. There are so many instances that I have seen in these 16 years. My sister, who unintentionally, unknowingly inspired me to bring Krishna in my house, has stopped, I think has stopped worshipping Krishna the way she worshipped earlier. So the reason that I told this thing was, I was sitting and contemplating what I was before and what I am today. Today we get so entangled, so consumed with thoughts about our future, with thoughts about our life, with thoughts about what will happen to my job, what will happen to uh, I have to get a job, then I have to get married, then this, then that. You get so consumed up that even if you start Krishna, that's my personal experience that I am telling right now, is that even if I started Krishna consciousness at a very young age, today I find myself so consumed sometimes with all these kinds of, with all these kinds of things. I am right now looking for a job. I am battling a physical condition since the day I was born. So my life has been a little challenging. So all these challenges, these situations, and the ups and downs of life, you become so consumed and so engrossed in that you forget the innocent bhav, or the innocent motive or intention with which you had bought Krishna in your house. Now, the motive and the intention of bringing Krishna in our house should be like our only prayer to Krishna should be, today you have come to my house, but someday I pray that Krishna, you should come in my heart. Last time when I was discussing Damodar Leela, Ukhal Bandhan, uh, you can find it on YouTube and you can hear it. So when I was discussing Ukhal Bandhan, I was telling that, I made a point that Krishna steals our heart when it becomes as soft as butter. So Krishna was eating butter from the pot of butter uh, before Mother Yashoda um bound Krishna up with a pestle and with a rope. So before that, Krishna was feeding butter to the monkeys and having butter himself in Nand Bhavan. So the whole story goes like this, okay? So the whole point, the end point of that discussion was inviting Krishna in our heart. Now, when we bring Krishna, our only prayer should be that today you are coming to my house, someday I wish that you come to my heart. Now, now I come to the second point. Now, this first experience I told you was to how Krishna creates, like how Krishna becomes a part of your life. Earlier, in the early days, for like 1.5 years, Krishna was just God to me, just God to me. Then slowly, I started Krishna seeing like a brother. I started reciprocating with him. I started, getting angry on him. I started doing foolish things, the thing I told you just right now. So that's how, yeah, you start behaving with Krishna like you behave with your family members. You shower love on your family members. You have, heated up moments, and and you have good moments and bad moments, and sometimes you're angry, sometimes you're disheartened with your family members. Every brother and sister relationship, every father and daughter, mother and daughter relationship, every relationships, there are certain strains in this relationships at times. And you know so I started looking, like my only thing was, I used to tell Krishna कि भगवान जी ऐसे कर दो वैसे कर दो. So after 1.5 year, when I was new in Krishna consciousness, when I was newly serving Krishna, so I used to call him Bhagwan ji. So I used to call him भगवान जी, आज मतलब मेरे को ये चाहिए. But slowly and gradually I started calling him Krishna. I stopped calling him भगवान जी. I started calling him Krishna, कि Krishna, फ्रॉम लाइक भगवान जी आप ऐसे कर दो, एंड ये कर दो, मेरी ये इच्छा है, मुझे उम्मीद है कि आप पूरी करेंगे. फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट आई स्टार्टेड एड्रेसिंग हिम, कृष्णा तो मेरी बात क्यों नहीं सुनता है, कृष्णा तो ऐसे क्यों नहीं करता है कृष्णा. सो जब आप से तू पे आ जाते हो, तो एक औपचारिकता खत्म हो जाती है. एक ऐसा माना जाता है कि तू बोलना डिसरिस्पेक्ट होता है. बट इन क्लोज रिलेशनशिप्स ऑफ योर लाइफ, अगर आप थोड़ा तू तड़ाक से बात भी करते हो, तो वो एक अपनापन होता है. तो भगवान किस तरीके से आपके घर में आके आपके दिल में आते हैं, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वो पता नहीं चलता है. वो हम उनको दिल से कभी इनवाइट करेंगे अपने मन में, वो दैट्स अ लाइफ टाइम प्रोजेक्ट. sometimes not one lifetime, many lifetimes. but कृष्णा धीरे 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 कैसे आपके घर से आके आपके मन में थोड़ी 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 जगह बनाते हैं. वो चीज है. एंड देन नाउ कम्स की why Sakhya Rasa is so important. I just mentioned a point where I said I started looking at Krishna like a brother rather than just looking at him as God. So what happened was, I I already have a brother, but still one day I felt that I should tie a Rakhi to Krishna, and that's how I can establish a relationship with Krishna. हम ऑलरेडी लाइक तू पे पहुंच चुके थे. मैं कृष्णा से आप करके बात नहीं करती थी. तू तू मेरी बात क्यों नहीं सुनता, ये सब चालू हो चुका था हमारा. एंड then I tied Rakhi to him, and एक रिलेशनशिप बना. उसके बाद when I started reading, now when you start reading Prabhupada's books, you don't realize how your life is transforming, how your heart is transforming. After say 1.5 year, I started reading Prabhupada's books in the year 2012. And after say 1.5 year or so, almost nearly 1.5 or 2 years, I felt like I am reading like one after another. I'm reading the books, but some, I can understand some things, and I cannot understand some things. So I developed a desire कि मुझे कोई चाहिए जो मुझे ये बुक्स में जो लिखा है उसको समझाए. लाइक प्रभुपाद बुक्स आर लाइक अगर आपने एक बार प्रभुपाद की बुक का एक पेज उठा के पढ़ लिया ना, समवेयर और अदर, कॉन्शियसली और अनकॉन्शियसली, आपने एक पैराग्राफ भी पढ़ा ना एक पेज में, वो आपके मन में आपके दिमाग में रजिस्टर हो जाता. तो मुझे कुछ बुक्स पढ़ने के बाद मुझे ऐसी फीलिंग आने लगी कि ये जो मैं बुक्स पढ़ रही हूँ पिछले 1-1.5 साल से, इसमें बहुत ऊंची ऊंची बातें लिखी है. इसमें ये बुक्स को पढ़ के मैं कृष्णा के बारे में जान सकती हूँ, पर कृष्णा के बारे में थोड़ा बहुत समझ भी सकती हूँ. बट ये बुक्स में जहां तक मुझे ऐसा लगता है, ये बुक्स में जो लिखा है उसको समझाने के लिए मुझे कोई चाहिए. एंड देन that's how I developed a desire to have someone in my life who could who could, teach me about Krishna. Basically, I developed a desire to have गुरु. और उस टाइम पे मुझे कुछ नहीं पता था कि देर आर डिफरेंट काइंड्स ऑफ गुरु. देर इज शिक्षा गुरु, देर इज दीक्षा गुरु. लाइक शिक्षा गुरु के मिलने के बाद दीक्षा भी लेनी होती है. आई डिड नॉट नो एनीथिंग. इट वॉज अ सिंसियर एंड जेन्युइन डिजायर. एंड मैंने जाके कृष्णा को बोला कि कृष्णा, आई हैव बीन रीडिंग योर बुक्स and I understand some things, but I don't understand everything. So, so I want someone who could, explain me. So 1.5 years after that, 1.5 year every day, I used to pray to Krishna, offer a lamb to Krishna with that same desire. So I met my Siksha Guru, and I really feel that from that day onwards, my Krishna consciousness actually started. Because when he started, when I started hearing him, I came to know of certain things, and then I started questioning him, and things happened. And then I realized that, you can love Krishna in more than one ways. So now today, Krishna is not just God for me. Krishna is not just my brother for me. Krishna is a friend uh, to me now. Now in Bhagavad Gita 9.28, chapter 9, verse number 28. So sometimes, what happens this year, my Kartik Mass is not, to be very honest, is not going that good. I have had my ups and downs during the Kartik Mass. So I got so I got so irritated and so stressed up and so pissed off at certain things in my life that this year I couldn't focus on the Kartik Mass, and that is the reason that I was sitting with my deities, and I was looking back, and I was trying to calm myself down. And then I have put up on YouTube a small video wherein I have spoken that even today, Krishna speaks to us. um Krishna speaks to us in multiple ways. Now we all have one question that अगर आज हमको कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुआ तो Krishna is not there to speak with us, like Krishna is there with Arjuna to was there with Arjuna to speak. Like हमारे सामने कृष्ण नहीं आएंगे. हमें अपने सवालों का जवाब प्रत्यक्ष रूप से कृष्ण से नहीं मिलेगा. Now if you heard that video, there are four things that I had mentioned that Krishna can speak to us through the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna can speak to us uh, through the deity form. Krishna can speak to us when we sincerely and regularly chant, and Krishna can also speak to us through the Guru. So sometimes what happens is we don't actually realize that Krishna is actually present in our life, and Krishna, uh, like हमें लगता है that the deity is standing in the altar, and we are reading the Bhagavad Gita. We are speaking. We are sharing the whatever we have learned, whatever we have realized. We are sharing it with devotees, and we are hearing from the senior devotees, and we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam sincerely. But Krishna is not present with us. Sometimes or other, we all feel that even after being in Krishna consciousness for so many years, sometimes we all feel that कि deity भी है. We are reading and we are discussing the scriptures. We have senior devotees in our life, but still we yearn and we long to talk to Krishna, uh, like face to face. But it's not like that. Krishna speaks to us in all these forms, and Krishna, like, you just cannot. Uh, the reason I'm saying that, like, is because, like, just 2 3 days before, I was feeling little that, there are some things that are not falling in place. There are some things that Krishna is not hearing, but then suddenly Krishna reciprocated in such a wonderful way, that I could not even imagine that Krishna would think so much about me. And I got pissed off at Krishna, and I spoke very badly with him. And I said that I I don't care. If if at times I go back to India, you will stay here in Canada, and I will not take you back with me to India. You stay here. You continue to stay here. Mom will take care of you. So I was so angry, and I was so upset and stressed out. But then Krishna just reciprocated in such an inconceivable manner. So sometimes we feel like, Krishna is not blessing us, Krishna is not giving us what we want, Krishna is not hearing us. So I heard, like, in one lecture, uh, that जो कृपा होती है ना, वो चारों डायरेक्शन से होती है. एंड समटाइम्स वी थिंक कि कृपा का मीनिंग है कि सब अच्छा अच्छा होना. इफ वी हैव बॉट कृष्णा इन आवर लाइफ, तो सब अच्छा 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 होना ही, दैट इज व्हाट it means. Like, Krishna is merciful to us. Now if you see, like in Ramayan, uh, Lord Ram had to go for, like, uh, for vanavas for 14 years. So sometimes, we have, like, uh, bad things happening to us. So my Siksha Guru was telling, at that time Krishna is pushing you from the back, as if you're falling down from a cliff. And Krishna is pushing you from the back, and Krishna is blessing you from the backside. Now if you have some good fortune happening with you in your life, currently or in the past, at that time Krishna blessed you from the front, right? Right, by, um, lovingly, like, touching your face, lovingly pulling your cheek. He was giving an analogy. So that means when you have experiencing good fortune in your life, that means that Krishna is blessing you from the front. And when you have certain ups and downs, like, say some disease or something, at that time Krishna is blessing you from the sides. And when you have a very worsened situation in your life, at that time Krishna is, like, pushing you from, like, somebody is pushing us from the back, and trying to make us fall from a cliff. At that time Krishna is blessing you from the back. So that's how Krishna's mercy is. So now, I would like to end with one small analogy that my Siksha Guru used to give, and he still continues to give in his lectures. Is that he says all five kinds of rasas are like juice in a bottle. So it's like a 5 liter bottle, and 1 liter of Shantaras, 1 liter of Dasyaras, 1 liter of Sakhyaras, 1 liter of Vatsalyaras, 1 liter of Madhuryaras. So all these five kinds of rasas are found in a wife. You know like, when the wife cares for you, the wife cares for you as a mother. When the wife is having, loving exchanges with you, talking, like, sweetly with you, like in a daily life, she is interacting with you like a friend, is like a Sakhya rasa thing. She is caring like a mother, like a Vatsalya rasa thing. When she is giving the pleasure of her wife to her husband, she is in Madhurya Rasa. And when she's serving the parents, when she's serving the husband, she is in Dasya Rasa. And when she's, like, thinking of her family, she's serving them in Shantarasa. So this analogy is given by my Siksha Guru. So, like that. So my whole point was that today we miss, like हमको ऐसा लगता है कि आज भी अगर वृंदावन में कृष्ण होते तो कितना अच्छा होता, आज भी अगर कृष्णा लाइक प्रत्यक्ष रूप से हमको दिखते, तो कितना अच्छा होता, हम भी सब कुछ छोड़ के वृंदावन चले जाते, कृष्ण के पास रहते, साथ रहते। तो आज भी रह सकते हो आप, अगर आपने कृष्णा के साथ कोई रिलेशनशिप एस्टेब्लिश की है, नो मैटर, मतलब आउट ऑफ द 5 प्राइमरी रसस, जिस भी जिस भी रस में रिलेशनशिप एस्टेब्लिश की है, आज भी कृष्ण आपके साथ है, कृष्ण मेरे साथ है, कृष्ण सबके साथ है, आज भी है। एंड कृष्णा कैन स्पीक टू अस, कृष्णा एक्चुअली स्पीक्स टू अस in these ways that I've mentioned earlier, and he actually continuously speaks to us, but we have to understand, we have to look back, sit back and think that are we hearing what Krishna is trying to speak to us. So that's the point that I, and that's the reason that I took today's class for. Today's point of discussion was only this. So yes, like the last point of today's discussion would be, like हम सबको लगता है कि we don't want to have stress in our life, we don't want to have difficult situations in our life, like when we hear about uh, the pastimes of Krishna from the 10th canto, like Krishna Sakhya Rasa also. Now let me tell you some last minute technical details of Sakhya Rasa. Sakyarasa also has levels, and more than having levels of Sakyaras, Sakyaras has types. Now, some some of Krishna's friends are sakhas. Some of Krishna's like the ordinary sakhas. Some of Krishna's friends are the ordinary sakhas. Some of Krishna's friends are the well-wishing sakhas. Some of Krishna's friends are Priya Sakhas, and some of Krishna's friends are Priya Narma Sakhas. Priya Sakhas and Priya Narma Sakhas are these two categories who get to participate, who get to enter the pastimes of Krishna. Now, examples of difference in Sakhiras. Now, Krishna has a friendship with Arjun, which is outside of Vrindavan. Krishna has a friendship with, uh, you know, has a friendship with the cowherd boys of Vrindavan, where the cowherd boys of Vrindavan are playing with Krishna. Someone is climbing on the back of Krishna, someone is massaging the feet of Krishna, someone is even fighting with Krishna, hitting Krishna, in a friendly way. And here we also see, like Sudama was a childhood friend of Krishna in Vrindavan, but we see that the epitome of Krishna and Sudama's friendship was seen in Dwarka. So Krishna sometimes blesses us by giving us everything, sometimes blesses us by taking everything away from us. And like he gave everything to Sudama. When Sudama approached him in Dwarka, he gave everything to Sudama. And from Bali Maharaj, he took away everything. And Krishna blessed him in the form of Vamanadev. When Vamanadev took everything away from him. So Krishna's blessings can come to us in inconceivable ways and in inconceivable manner, which we cannot think of. And the whole point of narrating this entire discussion, speaking this entire discussion was, our goal should be to develop a heart which is dedicated to Krishna, and think of Krishna, work for Krishna, and through mansa, vacha, and karmana, and establish a relationship with Krishna in whichever rasa that we like. So thank you so much for coming in and joining today. I hope you liked it. I hope you could relate with the discussion. I hope you could find something valuable through the discussion. So we still have 7 minutes to go. So if you have any questions, comments, suggestions, uh, please feel free to unmute yourself and please feel free to uh, speak. Mm.
So I would say it was interesting lecture because somehow or the other we were able to relate what you were speaking in our own ways, how Krishna entered our life and how we transcended from saying him Bhagwan and to like tu and all that. So that was interesting and somehow or the other way this lecture was kind of helpful in reflecting our current and past stories and relationship with him.
So yeah, that was the aim. Actually, I was supposed to discuss the Damodar Ashtakam today, verse by verse, but I'll do it in the next session. And today, I just thought of having this discussion because, like, from like say 10 to 15 days, I have been going through these thoughts and these realizations. And when I sat down and went through my journey, I was like, I have to share certain things. And one last thing that I would like to say, in addition to your point, is like we should value Krishna, because if we don't value what we have, if we don't realize the importance of what we have, eventually we may lose it. So before we lose taste in Krishna, before because of being entangled in so many things, like we should start at least appreciating what Krishna has been doing. Sometimes he does it directly, sometimes he does it indirectly. And so we should start valuing our relationship with Krishna, and we should start all the blessings and all the services that he has been giving us, and all the opportunities that he has been giving us to associate with him and to serve him. So before we lose Krishna, before we lose this golden opportunity, I think we should start valuing our relationship with Krishna and our relationship with Guru. So if anyone else wants to say something, share something, any comments, or uh, if there's no questions, nothing, I think we can end here. Thank you so much, Vidhu Prabhu, for your kind words. I'm glad to know that this discussion was relatable to hear and relatable to hear. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hari.